All right, Mark. I don't know whether you ever tried the jets on this game, and if you have, you probably found you got in a practice server, and everyone's been pretty good at it, and they just basically when you try and get anywhere trying to fly it, they just keep shooting you down, so you'd never really get any practice at all. But I found this server that you can get as much practice as you want, and nobody joins it. Right, I'll show you where it is. So basically, you want to go down to where it says community and you want to go search experiences. Now you might see all these things here, and a lot of them half the time they don't have jets in at all, so I don't know why they say it's got jets and helicopter practice, because it won't have, I guarantee it. And if it does, if you're lucky enough to find one with jets in, there's always someone that as soon as you get in a jet, it just rips you out of the sky. So forget all that, and what you want to do is you want to go to experience code here, and you want to type in, this is all uppercase, DXS4, and then it'll bring up this here, vehicle and shooting. So you want to go into this one, and then it says host, so you want to click to host, and then you want to go down. Now if you host it, that means that somebody else can join it, and you don't want that. Because basically you just want to practice on your own, so you need to do it locally. So you go host locally, then it'll take you right in. This is where I did a lot of my practice before I even started to get into any games for the real, the real game itself, with when you get shot down. And even now, after all the practice I've done in this map, I'm still got a lot to learn. So there's two places to spawn. You see that the headquarters, but if you don't spawn on this one, it just puts you in the ocean. I don't know why, but and then you've got to redeploy. So spawn here where you can see there where you can spawn in the headquarters. Spawn right in. Now this, you can practice anything. You can practice shooting, practice your guns. See all this lot. And then there's moving targets. And then, you've got your tanks, your jeeps, what have yous. Helis over there. So what I've been doing, the helis are really difficult, so that's for another day. All these jets here, you might think, well, which one do you use? Which one's the best? Well, you see this one with a single afterburner on the back. This one's better for tanks and troops, because it has a pretty good payload. You see the bombs. You drop them bombs, they're pretty accurate as well. I think they're guided missile bombs, I don't know. That says laser on it. But these will just annihilate tanks. So this one with a single afterburner. That one's got a single afterburner as well. Pretty much the same thing. Different layout, slight different layout. They're probably light laser guided. I don't know what these are. But I think these are as well. Again, for tanks and troops. Yeah? So that's the difference. That's how you know which one's which. Single one. Now, if you come up to these here, these have got like twin afterburners on the back. But they don't have any bombs at all, as what I can see. I think they do have one, because I remember dropping one, but it's really, they do very little damage. But where this excels with the, and remember now, this is the stealth, the twin afterburner, and the single afterburner is, it's more like a fighter jet. But where this excels, this has air-to-air missile. So that's good for locking on to other jets and helis. Whereas this one does not lock on to jets and helis. Well, as far as I know, because I can never get it to lock on. So let's get in it. So this is this single afterburner one. Now this has no lock on. So you hit your afterburner, and that gives you a bit of speed. And then, like, you've got this like little obstacle course to fly around, just to get the feel of it. Anyway, I'm not here for that. You can do that. So, now you see there, now I've switched to my, that's my cannon, this is my missile. Now I've switched to my missile. Now it's locking on, but it only locks on to ground, you see. And then bang, hit a bomb. So yeah, I've just realised that actually. Because when you're in a real game, you don't know, sometimes you don't even know which jet you're in and what it does. But, so this one locks onto tanks and ground vehicles. But it will not lock onto the heli, I'll show you now. I'll spin on round. Now this heli's just for shooting down, it won't fire back. Now look, it's not locking on at all, but it lights it up. But I'm pressing my fire button, nothing happens. So the only way to bring that down would be to go to your cannon, which is the little circle there, and then you would just basically just line it up. But it takes a lot of hitting, and then, you know, keep looking behind you. You need to set your buttons to pretty close to how you had it in Battlefield 1, so it all feels natural. So yeah, I'll try and lock on. No air-to-air missile at all there, none at all. It basically just spots it as far as I see. But let's just swing down for anything on the ground, and I think you're going to get a lock on when it's on the ground. So this is the one, this single afterburner jet, okay. There we go. So it won't lock on to jets, but it'll lock on to ground vehicles. You see that? So the single afterburner jet, which I'm in now, has got a very strong payload, and it will lock. It won't lock onto jets, but you watch when I go to tanks. You see that? So it's good for, like I said, tanks and ground troops. But air-to-air combat, the only thing you've really got with other jets and helis is your main gun, right? So that explains that jet away. So let's land it now, or crash it. Let's crash it. Right, now we're going to go into the twin afterburner jet. This is the stealth one. Oh, that doesn't kill me. Now this is the different one again. So he was flying this one. Now this one has not got a very good payload at all, as you can see. It's got there, that little tiny thing there, I think. That's what it drops. Absolute bobbins when it comes to killing anything on the ground. So let's get the afterburner on. You want to get these afterburners on as soon as, because this is what gives you speed. Now I'm on my cannon, so if I switch now to my, this is air-to-air missile. It's an air-to-air tow missile, so it'll just basically, see how it's just locking on. I'm not even doing anything, it locks on. Look, bang, it hit it already. I didn't even aim it. You just got to get a lock on, and you don't even have to get a lock on. It finds it for you. It's not like, all you got to do is have your missile ready, and then there, you'll see it there. It'll find it. Bang. Watch. Boom. Has it killed it? It's, well, one more hit. So really what you would do when you get good at it, you get your first lock on. Where the hell is it? There it is. That'll go down anyway. Now it's been hit 3 times. And then you see as that's going down, another one appears. Just for practice, that's all. Now what you would do is really, you get a lock on there, and then you switch to your cannon, and then you just finish it off in one go. You see that there? And then another one spawned in. So it's get your lock on, hit your missile, switch to your cannon, blast it. Yeah, I'll show you again. This takes a lot of practice. Well, it did for me. So you're out of range, but when you get in range, missile, switch to your cannon, hit that. Has it gone down? And if you can do that in one pass before you pass it, I didn't do it there. It's still surviving. But so you want to practice and get good at that. So and if same with the jet as well. You know, so that's a hit. I knew that was going to go down. But what you're looking to do really is get it in one pass without. And once you fly past it, you should be dead. The same goes with jets. So if this was a jet flying around, there it is, isn't it? Oh, these are. Now you see this will lock on not just to tanks but also to helis, jets. Whereas the single afterburner only locks on to tanks and you know, ground vehicles. But this one, my God, it just does everything. Did I get it in one pass? It's very damaged. Yeah, so that's pretty much that. But now watch the. So I've explained the difference, but now watch the bombs. We're going to switch to my bombs. And you see the circle there. You've got to get the circle about there. Ooh. Well, it has got bombs, like I said, but they're not as powerful. So, you know, you drop one of them on a tank and it'll pretty much bounce off of it, do it a bit of damage. We'll try another go here. See what it'll do to one of these vehicles. Shit, I did that wrong. Didn't even see where the target went. But anyway, trust me, the bombs are not as powerful as the single afterburner jets. This is just locking on. I didn't even know that was locking on. It just did it for me. And then so it's lock on and then fire. And then if you can be really good, if you can do a three-way combination, it would be, I'll show you now, I'll just fly around. Ideally, when you get really good at it, I'll lock on, fire, and then on your bombs and drop. So, mind you, that bomb went completely way off target. So you're hitting it with three things. You've got your lock on. Just spin round again. Lock on, cannon, then bomb. Bang. But I missed the. This is terrible, these bombs. I was way off target with the bomb, but basically if you can get all three on target, lock on. And before the missile even hits, you can even zoom in actually. And then bomb. Let's see where that bomb goes. Yeah, I got a hit on that one. So this one, you've got to drop it way before the other one. The single thruster one, that's them bombs. They seem to be aiming a lot easier than these, and they're very weak, like I said. These, so that's the difference with the, you know, the jets. So we'll just crash it now. There's not a lot else I can think of saying. Now, I'll just show you real quick, because this might help you. If you go over to controller, and you go to edit settings, and you want to go to aircraft, and you want to, this is how I've got mine. You want to just copy all this. You want to put that to 200, because it's by default it's at 100. And you want to make your fielder's view as wide as you can. You put that to 83. Yeah. And then vehicle aim sensitivity, I have that at 20. These are my settings and it works pretty good. I think it should work for you. And then the rest, you can have a look what I run with, but this is up to you. But I always turn that off. Make sure that's turned off. But whatever you've got, you know, it's up to you. But the main things you need to change is you don't want that on because that'll throw you, and so you need to change that, and that maybe, and that definitely, and then the rest is all optional. Okay, but turn that off as well. So then you come right out of there. You don't have to mess about with anything else. And then you go, this is the most important bit, you go to aircraft pilot control mapping. Switch on to that. And then what you want to do, this is how I've got mine. By default, I think that'll be, I can't remember what that is, your exit vehicle, but it will not be what you can see on my screen. If you don't bind that to that what I've got there, then it's that little button to the left of your main button on your controller. It's like a tiny little button. You've got two. You've got one to the left and one to the right of your main Xbox controller. I bound my reload and exit because the reload, I don't even know why it says reload because you don't reload anyway. I bind that to that little button because if you don't and you keep it on default, I guarantee you will bail out by accident. So do that and that'll save you a lot of mistakes. Keep it on default if you want, but honestly, I'll just reset it now. No, I won't because this video is going on for ages, but I can't remember what it is. I think it's X or something. So you need to change that to that because I was pressing X by accident and I don't know why because I don't do it in Battlefield 1, but on this one because it's that more, it's just faster paced. I was making more mistakes and I kept jumping out. And I'm not the only one to do it. I've seen a lot of guys say you must remap this button. I remap it to that because it's out of the way. And then what else have I got? I've got chase camera to the front one. That's personal preference. That's how I like it. And what else? Oh yeah, definitely put your free look. That allows you to look behind you. Put it onto your left bumper. Right, and then free look backward, put that onto your left bumper. Now your afterburner is left stick down, like you would if you was sprinting. But because we've got the same controller, I map that to the back paddle on the left of the controller, the left back panel. I map that to that. Keep that is, but then you just go into the software of your controller and map it to your back paddle, if that's what you want to do. But you might be happy with just using the stick. Either way. That's it really. Oh yeah, custom slot one I add. That's your flares. I keep that. That's naturally on the one. That'll be on that for you. But this will be for dropping your bombs, right? Slot 2. I can't remember what it is. I think it. Oh yeah, I can. It's actually the D stick, isn't it? On the right. That's the D stick left, isn't it? And that would be the D stick right. Well, I map that to my right bumper. And then that puts me on bombs. Because I just find it easier. Well, you don't have to do that. But these are my settings, so copy them if you want. But you don't have to just copy some of them if you're happy with some by default. Or whatever you want to change it to. But that's how I have it. So, you know, you can go through that as you wish. So obviously that is still on my right stick, but I've also got it bound to the back paddle of my controller. I just find it helps. But definitely these help. Left bumper free look and free look backwards. Keep all these as is. I was making a long video, nearly 20 minutes, so I'll leave it there. But, yeah, so if you fancy flying, get in there, practice, and then we can have a bit of fun because you need help in this game. It's like Battlefield 1. If you're on your own and you got two guys on the same team and they're in jets, you got no chance. Anyway, I'll catch you in a bit.